What's up, everybody? It's JT Sportsman at you guys with another video. This video I'm here with my Wisconsin Badgers versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Week 9 college football preview and prediction. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and get my prediction for who will win this game. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel below NFL videos and college football videos daily. Also, make sure to follow me down on my social media pages, which will be down in the description down below as well. So, Wisconsin is going to be on the road at Ohio State. This is a playoff elimination game for Wisconsin. If Wisconsin loses this game, say goodbye to the college football playoff hopes. And Ohio State is undefeated right now. But they really need to win this game also because of how tight the college football playoff, how close the college football playoff race is. And you don't want to put themselves in a position where the committee has to decide their fate. So, Ohio State really can't afford to lose this game neither. Now, I told everybody going into this game a couple of weeks ago that I did not think Wisconsin was going to end up going undefeated going into this game. And the reason why is because I just didn't trust their offense. Their defense was legit, but I never trust their offense. And the reason why is because I don't really trust offenses that heavily rely on the run game and can't really pass the football effectively. And now we know Jonathan Taylor is the best halfback in all of college football. We know Wisconsin has great offensive linemen. They got several offensive linemen in the NFL. But over the last couple of years, you can never really rely on Wisconsin to have a good passing attack. The running game was always going to be good. We never denied that. But when it has come to passing the football, Wisconsin has not really been that good or that reliable when it comes to passing the football. Now, the complete percentage and the passing efficiency is going to, make a lot of people like, oh, they're completing such and such amount of passes. They're this efficient. They're one of the most efficient passing teams in the country. Yeah, that's all good and gravy, but like we saw last week, when you turn the ball over, you're stopping the run, and you got to rely on the pass game to win the game, Wisconsin cannot throw the football to win games. And in this day and age of college football, you have to be able to have a solid passing attack that you can be like, hey, the run game's not going, so we're going to allow this pass attack to carry us and win the game for us. And Wisconsin just has not been that program over the last couple of years that you're going to be like, hey, we're going to beat you through the air. You can stop us running the football, but we're going to punish you through the air like Ohio State, Clemson. All those teams can run the ball, but they can punish you throwing the football as well. So can Alabama. The best teams in college football are balanced. They're not heavily reliant on one thing. Even Oklahoma. A lot of people talk about Oklahoma, how they have all these great passing attacks, but what they fail to realize is that all the halfbacks that they've had, like Joe Mixon or Rodney Anderson, a couple of other guys, I can keep going on, they got those halfbacks to the NFL, so they can run the ball as well. But Wisconsin is just too one-dimensional. And the wide receivers on the outside don't really create a lot of separation as well. I'm not the only person saying this. I've been hearing people on the college football pregame show on Fox, even after when they lost to Illinois. Urban Meyer, Reggie Bush. I mean, all those guys, the biggest knock on Wisconsin has been their outside wide receivers. Their wide receivers just cannot create those big plays and create big separation. And that's a big reason why I was never really sold on Wisconsin. I always had a high suspicion that Wisconsin was going to end up going into this game with at least one loss. Now, I was a little bit worried that Wisconsin would end up going into this game undefeated, but I eventually knew that they were going to end up slipping up. Now, when they lost to Michigan State, I was like, okay, they play Illinois. They should be able to win that game and come to this game unbeaten. But something told me that they was going to end up slipping up. I didn't expect it to be Illinois. I thought they were going to end up losing to Michigan State, but they ended up taking a loss. Now, Ohio State has been, in a lot of people's eyes, the best team in the country if we're not going by strength of schedule because, Ohio State has basically dominated everybody when we look at margin of victory. I mean, they're blowing teams out by 20, 30 points, and they're not even close. So, Ohio State, the thing is, with Ohio State is Wisconsin going to be able to get Ohio State into the fourth quarter? Because so far, we have not really seen a game when Ohio State has really been pressed going into the fourth quarter. We have yet to see Ohio State have to go on a 2-minute drive to win the game. So, is Wisconsin going to be able to push Ohio State into a late possession game that Ohio State is going to have to drive down the field and win the game? How would Justin Fields react under adversity? That's the question. And in this game, will we see it? I don't know. I really don't know because look, Ohio State, they have a little bit of flaws on defense. A little bit of flaws. I mean, everybody goes back to the FAU game where FAU came out in the second half and looked like world beaters out there. But we're just being realistic. Ohio State has probably been one of the most complete teams in all college football. And Wisconsin hasn't. They're just too one-dimensional. Yeah, you have good defense. Yeah, you can run the ball. But we've seen that style in the past. That doesn't equate to winning championships. You just cannot win championships, conference championships, or national championships with just a smash-mouth offense and great defense. We've seen in the past. It has failed. We've seen Michigan had that style of that playing style, that philosophy in the past. It has failed. You have to be able to have success through the air, passing the football. And I just don't trust Wisconsin to be able to throw the football versus Ohio State in this game. But they do have other factors that I like in this game other than their inability to throw the football. Like, when we look at my keys to victory, what each of these teams should be able to do to win this game, if you're Wisconsin, you have to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, he's their best player on their team. You got to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor more than just handing the football off. You got to throw him some screen passes. You got to throw him some balls out the backfield. You just got to give this guy touches. He is their best player on the offense, and they got to give this guy the ball. The next thing they have to be able to do is you got to limit turnovers. If you're going to play this style of offense, this smash-mouth style of offense, you want to run the ball, chew the clock out of things like that. A big thing that you cannot do is turn the football over. You cannot turn the football over in this style of offense. Another thing is you cannot be down by a lot of points. If you got to ask Wisconsin to play from behind in this game, if Wisconsin gets down by 14, at any point of this game, it's going to be over. Because the offense is not equipped to come back from behind big leads. They're not. So they have to limit turnovers. And you also got to control time possession. They need to keep Ohio State's offense and Justin Fields off the field. Because look, if this game ends up being a shootout, Wisconsin is going to lose. They are going to lose. So if you're Wisconsin, you got to control time possession. And you got to tear out that Ohio State defense. You got to, because look, Ohio State, if Ohio State puts up 30 points in this game, I think it's going to be over. I think it's going to be over because you just can't trust the Wisconsin offense. Just run the football. It's not going to help you put 30 points up and keep up the pace with this Ohio State offense. You got to have success throwing the football through the air. So Wisconsin cannot win the time possession battle. They're going to lose this game. If they can't limit the turnovers, they're going to lose this game. Because, look, if they're not able to control time possession and limit the turnovers, they're most likely going to end up being down at any stretch of this game by 14 points. They're not able to do those two things. And I bet money on that. I bet money on that. If you cannot control time possession, limit the turnovers in this game, Wisconsin's going to be down by 14 points at some point in this game if they're not able to do those two things. And they're not going to be able to come back because their offense isn't equipped to come from behind. That's the thing. And now when we look what Ohio State has to do, I mean, they don't really have to do that much. They just need to stop the run. That's pretty obvious. And force them to pass. They have a pretty good secondary. You got Sean Wade. You got another cornerback who has number 1. His jersey number is number 1. I'm forgetting his name, but he's one of the best cornerbacks in the nation. They have a pretty good secondary. You got Chase Young who can get after the quarterback. So, I mean, if you stop the run, then you basically, if Ohio State's able to stop the run, they're going to win this game. Because no way with the way that these Wisconsin receivers, I mean, Wisconsin has talented wide receivers, but I mean, they're not that good creating separation. And if Wisconsin has to win this game through the air, and Ohio State completely takes away the run, Wisconsin is going to lose this game. No ifs, ands, buts about it. This has been a big thing with Wisconsin in the past. Their inability to win games just strictly passing the football. They can't. The next thing Ohio State has to be able to do is they have to get stops on third down. Now, Wisconsin is top 10 in the country in third down percentage when it comes to converting on third down. They are converting on third down 52% of the time. So, if you're Ohio State, you have to get Wisconsin off the field. You cannot let Wisconsin maintain drives and throw all that clock. So, the team that I'm going with to win this game, I'm going with Ohio State to win. I think this game ends up being a blowout. I think this game stays close in the first half, but eventually in the second half, if it's late in the third quarter or early in the fourth quarter, I just think Ohio State is going to pull away with it. And here's why. Because I just don't think Wisconsin's offense is going to be able to score enough points to keep up with Ohio State. I don't care how good your defense is. They're going to have to be able to score points. And just run the football, that's just too predictable. It's too freaking predictable. I've seen it too many times. Smash mouth caliber teams that have these smash mouth offenses that play great defenses, they lose when you take away the run game and force them to throw the football through the air. I'm going to give you a good example, right? Last year, Georgia and Kentucky. Kentucky was one of the best teams in college football at this point, right? They just gave Benny Snell the ball and let him work. They just ran the football, didn't really have to rely that much on the passing game, and they had the best defense in all of college football, right? But when they went ahead and they played Georgia, right? I learned this. I chose Kentucky to win this game. But what I didn't know is that if you have a ball control offense that relies on running the ball, if you're not able to run the ball and you're forced to pass the football with an offense that's not really equipped, they're getting high-scoring affairs and throwing the football. Wisconsin wants to run the football. They want to tire you out. They want to control time possession. They want to run the football. But if you take away the run and you have a one-dimensional offense, you're going to lose. I learned that in that Kentucky game. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. Your defense can only bail you out so many times, especially when you have a run-first offense. Run-heavy offenses don't equate to championships. It's just what it is. When you look at some of the best teams in college football, they are balanced. And Wisconsin just is not balanced. So I'm taking Ohio State to win this game. I think Ohio State wins this game 35-14 is my final score prediction for this game. I just don't think Wisconsin's going to be able to score enough points on the offensive side of the ball and able to keep up with this game. And eventually, that defense is going to get tired. And Ohio State is eventually going to wear them down. And they're going to end up going on a scoring rampage in the second half of this game. In this game, it's at home as well. I'll take Ohio State 38-14, my final score prediction. So let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section down below. Let me know who you guys think is going to end up winning this game. And thanks for watching.